Hey everyone, welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips, Getting Real About the Woo-Woo. I am Becky Russell, owner of wellness company Hope Essential, and I am a holistic lifestyle educator and an essential oil educator. I like to teach. And I also am a firm believer in the holistic approach to wellness. And that means treating the entire body, mind, body, and soul from the inside out and not just treating symptoms. I also believe that to have a quality of life as you age, you have to do that in addition to limiting the amount of chemicals you put on and in your body. So I am on a mission to help people see that they have choices in how they approach wellness, because it's really a disease treatment approach traditionally, and the holistic approach is more preventative and proactive. And I embrace that. It served me well. I am not blessed with good genes, and I am not on any daily medications or prescriptions, and that is pretty impressive, and I'm very grateful. So it has served me well, and I just want to share what I've learned on this journey and hope to help you as well. And every week I talk about either spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, or physical wellness, and sometimes the topic encompasses one, two, or three, all three. And tonight we're going to talk about brain health. And of course, I would say that probably encompasses all three, because if your brain is not healthy, you're probably not going to be healthy in any way. So it's super important to have a healthy brain. And I'm going to talk about 11 tips very briefly. And the article I used for the research only mentioned 10, but I'm going to add one, and I'll bet you can guess maybe what it is. So the first one I'm going to talk about, it might seem a little strange, and it sort of surprised me as well at first, but then I realized, of course, quit smoking. I know that smoking affects your entire body. I've learned that. You don't heal as well and other things. But as far as brain health, what they found is people who smoke more than 2 packs of cigarettes a day had twice the rate of dementia as they got older. And then people who smoked half to 1 pack a day had a 44% increased risk of developing dementia. And even the lowest level of smoker had a 37% increased risk. That is pretty scary. The good news is that once you quit smoking, that stops the increased risk and you have normal brain functioning as you age. So that's a pretty big incentive to quit smoking. Among other things, your entire body starts to heal the day you quit. So that is pretty impressive. The next one we're going to talk about is have good relationships. That was a little surprising to me that was brain health. But when you think about it, if you live very isolated and you're not around people, you're not typically very healthy either. And one of the things it mentions is to have a diverse group of friends. You don't just want to be surrounded by people who think like you do, act like you do. Have a diverse group of people that challenge you and have different perspectives. Let's see, the next one is to think positive. And I think if you've done any personal development, you know how much a positive attitude counts. And so be sure and develop that. The next one they mentioned, I would have really put closer to number one. Sleep, getting quality of sleep affects your health, your brain health. This is something I'm very passionate about. Sleep and gut health are probably the two biggies for me. It is so imperative that you get not just enough sleep, but quality sleep. When you get that deep sleep, your brain acts like a dishwasher, and it rinses out the plaque and the toxins. If you don't get into that deep sleep, then you're never getting that flushed out. And that's probably why if you have a bad night's sleep, you don't learn as well the next day. Or I've noticed that if I don't have a good night's sleep, that next day I'm dropping things. Of course, my memory's awful. So it really does affect you. So really make an effort to uh, get enough sleep and good sleep. And if you want to know more about sleep, I highly recommend this book, and I will put that in the comments afterward. It's very, it's tedious reading because it's fine print, but it's so interesting and very good information. And one of the things they brought up is two high-profile people who bragged about getting by on just 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night um, died with dementia, and those two people were Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher. So don't underestimate how important sleep is. And the next one is eating well. Of course, that's my other big topic, gut health. The gut is your second brain. And if you are just eating junk, then your gut is stressed. It's fighting off all this stuff, and you are not producing the natural hormones you need, like dopamine and serotonin and GABA. And of course, those hormones affect our mental health. So it is super important to eat healthy. And the next topic is to meditate. And this is still a work in progress for me because I just have that racing brain. But I'm determined to. I'm gonna conquer it. I do know I believe in the value of it, and it's a way to manage stress and to just be more mindful. And it is super important for your brain health to get in that mindfulness and just stop. Um, it also there's a direct correlation that people who meditate have more cell density in the hippocampus, which is associated with memory, and frontal lobes, which is associated with forward planning and control of behavior. So that's a physical thing. That's science there. The next one is stay healthy, and that's sort of a obvious one. But they're focusing mostly on physical exercise. And because physical exercise increases your blood flow, which in turn increases the amount of oxygen and glucose your brain is receiving. Exercise also usually involves some sort of coordination, and that is making your brain work in another way. And this I didn't really know. Exercise helps with the growth of new brain cells and the connections between brain cells by promoting the production of 3 essential growth factors. And there's a bunch of science here, and I'm not even going to try to go there, but just know that these factors also minimize inflammation, grow new blood vessels, and slow down cell self-destruction. And a good workout can also awaken dormant stem cells in the hippocampus, a part of the midbrain that controls our memory system. That's pretty powerful. So we really need to make time for, we've always known physical exercise was important, but this is really tied to your brain health as well. Maintain high levels of mental activity. That's a pretty obvious one. And they're talking like crossword puzzles and word search and even reading a map or putting something together by reading the instructions. I know, guys, that's hard for you, but so just something you normally don't do, and it sort of challenges you. And let's see, one thing they mentioned which made me chuckle, it said, one of the simplest things you can do to make your brain sweat is to try to understand points of view that you do not agree with. Now that may stress some of us. It doesn't mean you have to end up agreeing, but that would be a challenge, wouldn't it? Number 2, extend your education. That's sort of an obvious one. Learn a new language, a new hobby, a skill. And I've even heard that like using your non-dominant hand is helpful with all those the way your brain works. And then we have do brain training, and that's usually done online or on a handheld device on your own. But then I know the senior centers have competitions on brain health. So if you like a group thing, that's something you could look into. And of course, the last thing I want to talk about is oils and the brain. So this is a real handy chart that talks about the different oils that help with the different things with your brain. So for stress, scents, citrus oils. For worry, not that any of us worry, lavender, frankincense, sandalwood. If you want to uplift your mood, orange, frankincense, bergamot, and if you've noticed, frankincense is coming up a lot, right? Memory and learning, rosemary, frankincense, peppermint, disruptive, meaning what I assume that means is, feeling on edge, that kind of thing. Vetiver, chamomile, cedarwood, and then attention and focus, peppermint, chamomile, and rosemary. So those are just a few, and I will add this in the comments as well. So I love when I do these episodes, I learn something too. And I would love to know if there was any aha moment for you and what you might try or give up, and comment below, and I would love to hear it. And also remember, you can go to hopeessential.com and catch up on previous lifestyle tips, holistic lifestyle tip videos, and learn more about essential oils as well and other holistic lifestyle tips. So till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now.